call this meeting to order of the Lincoln County Board of Education. We are meeting in regular session. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. Time is 6 p.m. and we are at the central office in Hamlin. This is a meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the county school system's business. There's a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in agenda item public comments. This meeting is being live streamed and a video copy of the meeting will be on the board's website within 5 working days. This time I will ask Board Member Cartwright if he'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, justice for all.
Takes us to agenda item 2, and we have Board Member Mosteller present, Board Member Burns, Board Member Cartwright, myself, Board Member McComas is calling in, and as well as Superintendent Barnett. He's also phoning in this evening. Takes us to agenda item 3, public comment. Looks like there's nobody signed in for public comment, so we'll move to agenda item 4, which is presentations, and we have the principal of Hamlin PK through 8, Miss Lori Huffman. Turn it over to you.
So, good evening, guys.
Good evening.
It's good to be here to see all of you. So, we'll go through our report. If you have any questions, of course, hopefully I can answer whatever you want to ask of me. So, on that very first page, of course, you see our enrollment. It was 424 at the time that I created the report. Would have been a week ago. Some things changed very quickly because from one week to the next, of course, our attendance numbers dropped because of flu, COVID, strep going on in our school. Out of those 424 students, of course, our special ed population has risen from 27% last year to 30% because it seems that any new students that come into our school, they bring an IEP. So our homeless population's at 5%, and then our foster care is at 7%. Attendance, our current daily attendance rate's 92.3. Chronic absent rate for 2025, which was the end of last year, 24.94%, close to 25%. And then, of course, yesterday when I worked on this, our current chronic absent rate was 27. It was 25 last week. So, like I said, lots of kids out for illnesses. Discipline, 2024 school year, we had 61 out of school suspensions, and it went up 6 last year to 67, and then our number of discipline referrals, it did go up from the previous year when I was working on this. I was really surprised. A lot of it, vaping, of course, things like that in the middle school.
Yeah.
So
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
it is hard to believe. So far this year, knock on wood, we haven't had that many issues with vaping. So hopefully, they're getting used to the rules that we're not going to, go along with any of that happening over in our middle school anyway. The narrative strategies to improve test scores. What we do, and I'm not going to read that verbatim, of course, is that we provide intervention to all of our students. We have for the past several years, ever since Mr. Davis was there with me. We have used our Title I teachers doing small group intervention groups throughout. We divide our students into small groups, six people, counting our ECAT aides, teachers, and then Title I. That is K through 3, which really lowers the amount of students that they work with. And we've seen lots of progress, and our I-ready numbers look pretty good this year so far. Then in the middle school, we just got an interventionist through Mountain State, of course. She services those students that in the summer I looked at benchmark data, I-ready data from those grades in 6, 7, 8, and she pulls students 8th and 9th period for ELA and math. Every day. That's
great.
So, and then, of course, we have our ELA teachers and our math teachers that provide intervention at the end of the day as well, 8th and 9th period. So we do our very best to look at that data and make sure that those teachers know what skills, the gaps that we have, and they're working towards getting those numbers, the percentage of proficiency increased, of
Now,
course.
8th and 9th period together is how much time?
We have like 40 minutes for each one of those.
Okay.
They're a little bit shorter than the other periods just to make sure that we can cover ELA and math.
Okay.
So, then our mission and vision, of course, they've remained the same there, of course. If you want to go to the next page, 2025, 2026 goals. We are a Leader in Me school, and our wildly important goal, it has been set at 5%. And if 5% is hard to achieve, you don't think it sounds like a lot, but for proficiency rates, that's a huge jump from year to year. So for math, last year we had come up, had a 4% gain. Our proficiency rate should jump, according to the State Department, 3%, around 3% per year. So we exceeded that. We had 4%, so we're at 44% proficient. This year's goal, of course, is to get to 49. And then in ELA, we had dropped the year before, and that's why I was telling Miss Butchie, we did drop the year before. Our focus has been on math. Our math scores continue to go up. ELA dropped, but we made a 7% gain last year. So we doubled, what the state expected. So we're at 39, so we're hoping to get to 44 for there. And then for our attendance, we want to go up 3%. So that would put us right at 95, which is what, for us to meet state proficiency in attendance, we would be there. Our strategic plan, if you look down there at the bottom, there's our scores again. ELA proficiency was at 39%. Math was at 44%. Our college and career readiness, of course, in the middle school, we have 2 different programs going on for CTE. Discover Your Future. If students are not in Discover Your Future, they're in Project Lead the Way. Okay. Spanish is also offered to 7th and 8th grade students, which that is something that is mandated by the state, that you provide that language course. Organizational excellence.
Now, do
okay.
they have Spanish every day? Lauren?
Yes.
The
7th and 8th. They do.
okay.
They do. Okay, so organizational excellence. Okay, we take input from all of our various sources, our LSIC, which we, of course, just met last week, and they have some input into this. Our leadership team, our student lighthouse team, staff lighthouse team, our whole school PLC, PTO, and then from all of those things, Mrs. Bates and I get together with our leadership team, and then we set our goals and set our plans for the year. Our celebrations, again, we're Leader in Me Lighthouse School. We just renewed that for 2 more years. We've been a Lighthouse Academic Honor Roll School for 4 consecutive years based on our proficiency. Our numbers continue to grow. Leadership Day, we are now, our National Board Certified Teachers, our count's back up to 8. We had dropped because we had some people retire and some move. And then, of course, we've got 2 more that are pursuing their national boards. Our Discover Your Future grant, and Mr. Lucas, we have to get that money spent. Our West Virginia Department of Ed Gateway grant, our Bobcat Broadcasting, which Ms. Davis just started this year, which is, an extension of ELA. Doing a great job, putting lots of good things out there for our kids and our parents. Our M3T fellows, which Miss Stephanie Workman is that, and she is a huge, part of our gains in our mathematics. I will say that. She has worked very hard with our other teachers to get them on board. And then, of course, we have 31 Apple certified teachers at our school. Our overall PSAT, which that doesn't go for us, but our summative assessment, that back sheet, and I'm gonna leave that with you. It says, see addendum. Those are our scores from last year in iReady, and for grades 3 through 8 are benchmarks, okay? So I had benchmark 3 on there, but the state doesn't do that any longer. They cut that one out, which we miss, because I truly think the more that you can practice and have the kids ready for that test, they do much better. So you can look at those numbers per grade, okay?
Now, how long does it, or how often do you have to do, like, these tests that you're given? You do them throughout the year,
You
don't
do,
you?
yes.
And you put time in between the
Yep,
ones
each
that you're
one.
doing.
So you
What's the
can-
first one, this,
Okay, this year for the iReady, it
Yeah.
started off in September as soon as we go back to school.
Okay.
And we just finished the second one, and then in April, I think, I'd have to look at the testing calendar, we give the third one for iReady.
Uh-huh.
But now the benchmark, it came in October, and then we've got ours slated for February 3rd through the 8th.
oh, it'll be
So-
tough for the weather, I
And,
hope. Yeah,
and
that's
if,
the only thing.
they usually extend it if, something
Yeah.
happens like that. But our teachers take that data, and then they do reteaching and get our students prepared. I like the third benchmark because it's right
Shows you.
before, and you can pinpoint exactly what you need to
And
hit
you need to work on
Mhm.
before the
big
one
test,
comes.
before the one that really counts for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea,
Yeah.
Lori.
Yeah. Okay, so then the next page, curricular focus, and I was telling Butchie this, we focused on math, and we have for several years. Our scores show that we have improved. And then, of course, ELA dropped down, but we meet weekly in PLCs in the elementary, because that is where, they need to get built up.
Yeah.
We look at the iReady data, and then we talk about Foursquare writing, because that's something that we've implemented K to 5. Because, ELA, writing, reading, they're intertwined, and
They
if you
are.
do well with one, you're gonna improve in the other
Do
one.
you all follow some of your kids after they go to the high school? Do you kinda follow them a little bit?
Some of them come back and tell
and
us,
talk
how.
to you
mhm.
about how they
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
Do a lot of them come back, Laura?
Yeah, they like to come
That's
back and
great.
visit,
I think
so.
they feel secure,
Yeah.
don't you think they do?
Yeah,
when
they,
come back?
they say they miss us, so
That's
they come,
home. Yeah,
they
it
come
is.
back and check in. They
Yeah,
do.
that's good.
They do. So then our PLCs and leadership team, like I said, our PLCs meet, and our elementary teachers have common planning, so they meet daily if
That's
need
great.
be. Middle school's a little bit different, and I know the State Department recommends that, but with the amount of staff that we have, it's,
it.
you just can't do it with
No,
the
you can't.
scheduling, because we've really worked to try to get them common
Can't do
planning, but
that.
you just can't do
Well,
them.
if you don't have, you either keep them in the evening for an hour,
Yep.
or you come early in the morning,
Yeah.
and they don't feel like doing it then.
True, true.
And it's just really
It's
hard
hard.
to do in an elementary.
It is hard, yep. Our leadership team meets once a month, and we plan our activities, events, and of course, the leadership team talks to their peers out, and then they come back and then tell us, what the majority of the staff feel about things. Current culture and climate, in the spring, Leader and Me always has a survey for our parents, for our teachers, and for our students. So based on that data, our climate and culture, it was positive. And it's an effective culture and climate. We work on the building being clean, aesthetically appealing. Myself, Ms. Bates, as administrators, we work to show our appreciation for hard work and dedication for our entire staff. We try to treat them from our own pockets, of course, and do things for them. And we want, our kids to know students come first and that they are loved. And I think that
That makes a difference.
it makes a huge
Oh, it
difference.
really
It does.
does.
It does. Needs or additional assistance. What needs have we asked for and received, and it's continued. Our playground upgrades, of course. We have our HVAC replacement. We got our sound system and a new projector in the gym. Now, funds came from outside providers, of course, but that's completed. Our window tinting for the middle school. And the fascia on the gym entrance, so it looks much better. We need to paint that. Now, the things that we need, we've asked, but, and it's really questionable, this fencing between the buildings. It comes up all the time in LSIC.
Yeah.
And we have moved the Bobcat time from the front lawn for the middle school to the playground. And they enjoy that, and they're away from the street, so that part, we really don't need the fence around the front any longer. It's between the middle school and the elementary building. It's a safety concern.
Yeah.
It's a safety concern for our staff, and then, parents as well, because if someone's out back there and a student just goes through, you know, they could grab them or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
So
true.
we've talked about this, and Mr. Barnett and I talked about it again the other day. So the next thing's blacktop and striping. That is supposed to happen in the spring.
On
It
that
was
little road right there that
in
goes-
the elementary
yeah,
parking
the
there.
elementary
Mhm.
road.
So, and then, of course, this was just added, and I talked to Jerry about it because he wants, you know, he needs a heads up on it. Our bathroom sinks and the hardware in those bathrooms, they're really dated.
Yeah.
So he said, that, you know, he would try his best to help us out with that too. And then, of course, the additional comments, parking, it's huge. We get lots of complaints about the parking for parents in the evening picking students up and stuff. The only thing, and Mr. Barnett and I talked about this, the apartment building adjacent to the school there, they have offered to sell that for like $120,000. I know it's a lot. And then, of course, you'd have the expense of tearing it down.
Yeah.
But since, across the street, the fire department bought that property, we're not allowed to park over there. And then with the new, car auto detail shop or whatever there
Yeah.
next to us, they took up the parking from the Mills parking area. So our parents really don't have anywhere to park to pick their kids up in the
They
evening.
just kinda have to get in that big old long line,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah.
It's always been a problem and it's gotten worse.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It is.
I'm gonna tell you, it has always been a
Yeah.
problem there.
And
Cause
it-
there's just no room
Yeah.
for anything.
Because you're in
And you're in that,
town.
you know, you're right up there against the, well, of course, it used to be the high school building, and then you know, you were right there at the elementary. And we had double the amount of students, you know, that we
Yeah.
have now, but man, it's always been trouble
Yeah.
through there.
The morning's not bad because we drop off at the gym and it's
But
not so
in the
bad.
evening, it lines up, doesn't
It does, but I've got a plan, so I'm gonna work on it with the leadership team on how, I'm gonna have to talk to Peggy Stone about it, about the buses coming maybe after the pickups,
Yeah.
and then, you know, come
You know what?
staggering in, and
That
then we
would
can
probably
load
be the
them.
best.
Yeah, from the gym.
Yeah.
Like we drop off in
Yeah.
the morning, then pick up from the gym, and that will help with some safety concerns too, because when our kids exit the building, you know, they're
They
out
don't-
there on the blacktop.
They are.
They're
Yeah,
open,
they're
they're
right
in the
there.
open. But we're working on it. That
Yeah.
is something that's been brought to our attention, and it's always been,
It has always been a problem.
it has. And we had, a plan before, but parents voted it down because we put it out and they didn't
They
like.
didn't like it.
They didn't like the route that we had through town, because, Mayor Adkins helped me with it, and it wasn't something that they wanted at that time, so we will continue to work on it. And then, of course, the last page there, our LSIC chair, Sean O'Donohue, then our teachers, Ms. Katie Davidson, Mr. Harold Bell, Ms. Christy Adkins, then our parents elected to our LSIC, Tara Allen, Tammy Vinson, Walt McGrady, our service staff elected, Miss Melissa Lucas, Shirley Lawson, and then other LSIC members, Lisa Leach from Southern West Virginia Health System, then Sean, of course, is the chair, and then Katrina Melkus from City National. Business partners, 7-Eleven, McDonald's, Southern West Virginia Health System, Armstrong, great community partners.
Yeah.
They do so many things for us. Our student safety practices, I think that's the last thing. Of course, we have our cameras in our buildings, our SWAP system for our staff, and they have added that now substitutes, of course, have to have their IDs, which is a great idea. Practice for fire drills and active shooters. We have our window clings for our front entrances of both buildings that you can see out, but people can't see in. We did get the window tinting for the middle school. Of course, we have our intercoms. And then I know Mr. Barnett's on there, and he talked with me about this, that through the sheriff's department, we will be getting a police officer like 2 hours a day since we don't have a man trap, which that will be, you know, something, I think that's a positive for
At
us.
the end of the day or the beginning? Or you're
I
gonna
don't know yet.
No,
It'll
you
probably,
don't have it-
I'm hoping it's a mixture so people really
Yeah.
don't pinpoint when they're there.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
That would be
So-
my suggestion.
That's
is-
exactly
You
right.
would just alternate
Yeah.
the times that they come.
Yeah.
But that concludes my report. Do we have any questions?
I was gonna ask you, but you answered it, what they wanted for that apartment building, cause
Yeah.
that's a lot of money, but that would solve a lot of your problems.
Yeah.
Now,
it
who'd
would
you
help.
say owned that apartment
The
building?
McKays.
The McKays,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know if Brady's the one that,
Yeah.
he approached me.
Yeah.
He,
So
he,
they
'cause he
they
knew.
want to sell it,
Yeah,
don't
they do want to sell it. And it, honestly, it would be,
Oh,
it would be great for us
It would
because
be.
issues that happen in those apartment
Yes.
buildings there as well.
and I
So,
think he, he wants it because of that too,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, so,
I appreciate the information. I appreciate the breakdown on the back that you give us, by grade level. That's,
Okay.
that's good to,
yeah.
good information to have.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
and that's how we track that
Yeah.
year to year. I have them each year so we can go back and look at that specific grade. So, anybody else?
Are you going down or just about staying even?
What with our, with
Yeah,
our
with your-
population? Last year, we were like at 450, it dropped down to 430 some, and now we're 420.
Yeah.
The beginning of the year, we go way
Way
up,
up.
and then it kind of goes down, and at the end of the year, we go back up
Back up
again.
again.
So like 450, that's probably,
Probably
about
about
the
where it
average
is.
for us.
That's
Mhm.
good.
Yep, so,
I just say, you know, your test scores are looking good. They
Yeah.
continue to get better each year, so don't let, we don't let good stand in the way of better. And, your leader in me school, it's good. I think y'all are, as administrators, are leading the way and, running a great school, so, thank you.
thank you,
Yes.
thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay,
Thank you, Ms. Huffman. I'm sorry I couldn't be there.
Oh, I understand, well.
We understand about that, don't we?
So, that takes us to agenda item 5, approval of the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Burns,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Cartwright. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mossberg?
Yay.
And Mr. Wilson is a yea.
All right.
That carries 5-0. And then takes us to agenda item 6, which is consent. Looks like we've got items A through G. Give you a few seconds to look over that.
Make a motion, we approve consent items.
Motion by Mr. Mosteller,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Cartwright. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson is a yea. That carries 5-0.
Okay.
Takes us to agenda item 7, policies. We got a couple, well, we got a few different policies, but we got one section that is going, board to review and approve the following policies for 30-day review. And then we've got, right below that, we've got 4, that are being revised.
Which 4 are the ones being revised?
The
Oh, I
bottom.
see them down at the bottom,
The
yeah.
bottom 4.
Yeah, I see.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second. Oh, that's okay.
second by Ms. McComas. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
And Mr. Wilson is a yea. That carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 8, allowed and authorized payment of bills.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Burns,
I'll second it.
seconded by Mr. Mosteller. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
And Mr. Wilson is a yea. That carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 9, financial request for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second.
second by Mrs. Burns. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
She might not have heard you, or we might be.
Carly, did we lose you?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I can now.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yay. Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
And Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries 5-0. That takes us to agenda item 10, personnel. I direct your attention to the blue sheet in the back. Give you,
Mr. Wilson, I need to recuse myself from personnel.
Okay.
okay, Ms. McComas will recuse herself. Mr. Cartwright, if you don't care, you can just mute the,
Carly, we're gonna mute you until we, finish personnel.
Sounds good.
Make a motion to approve personnel.
motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Mosteller. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas has recused herself. Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
And Mr. Wilson is a yay. That carries 4-0.
Are you there, Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, takes us to agenda item 11, superintendent updates. Mr. Barnett, you have any updates for us this evening?
You just get, sorry, just a little bit of information, talking about closing, or we did the delay this morning due to temperatures, just a point of clarification there. After a long weekend, or any weekend, when the temperatures dip this low, we needed to have that little bit of extra time for a couple reasons. One was to make sure that the buildings were warm, and two, to make sure we could start buses. You know, you hear a lot of folks say, and I was one of them that said, you know, well, we went out in the cold and stood and waited on the bus.
And it
We
didn't
had that
go.
back, but most of the buses then were gasoline buses. These diesel engines are much harder to start and much harder to warm up. So, especially after a long weekend, we wanted to err on the side of caution to make sure we had buses that would all start and that the buildings were warm. So, our HVAC guy, Mr. Toppings, was out an hour early this morning going to every building to make sure that we were up and running and all the heating systems were functioning properly.
Yeah. I know that's always a topic that we've discussed, but I appreciate you and Mr. Davis and the leadership and making those decisions. Not always easy, not always popular, but
You
you know,
gotta do it
it's better
sometimes.
to be on the safe
You're
side
exactly
than
right.
to be sorry. And unfortunately, the weather models look like there's a lot of big weather coming up in the next
I
few
know.
days. So
That's true.
Well, we're ignoring those right now.
yeah, yeah. Don't look at the Euro model.
Yep.
Any?
That's all I had.
Okay. That takes us to agenda item 12, board member comments.
I don't have anything, but other than thank Ms. Huffman for being here again, we appreciate it. And Mr. Barnett touched on it already. I was going to comment, and I do every time in the winter. We always, you all get criticized a lot, but you're making the right decision and you're keeping kids and staff safe. So you'll never please everybody. So just do the right thing and don't worry about pleasing
That's exactly the truth. That is exactly the truth. You do the right thing for those kids and the rest of them will take care of itself. And that's true. They'll either like it or they won't anyway, so you might as well do what you know's right for the kids.
Echo what
We
the other
appreciate
guys
that.
are
We
saying.
try to keep you looped in on every decision we make.
Yes, and it certainly does make a difference.
Appreciate Miss Lori, and I think doing a great job. I mean, we can have our own opinions, but black and white numbers speak for themselves, and just appreciate all your hard work. It's not
Yes.
easy, so
Yes.
appreciate it.
All right, if there's no other comments, that'll take us to agenda item 13, which is adjourn until Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, 6 p.m. at the central office in Hamlin.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second.
second by Mrs. Burns. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Okay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson is a yay. The time is 6:29, and that carries 5-0.